that was, we were playing a team that was a wounded animal. You knew they were going to come in here and play their hearts out. SMU is a program that typically only plays 7 guys. So, the 7 guys that they played last night, I thought all played hard. But, our performance the last 7 minutes of that game, they scored to go up 57-50. From that point on, I just thought our spacing, our ball movement, our defense, our help defense, our rebounding, I thought was outstanding. And that was a great way for us to end that game. It's a great win. I think part of his problem in some earlier games, in South Florida, he went 0 for 8, and every one was a wide open shot. So, some night shooters are going to miss shots. But I just thought that the big thing with him last night was almost every one of his bats, especially in the first half, all of his baskets came off ball reversal and ball movement with our spacing. And when we do that, whether it's Armani or Corey, they're in West, those 3 guys, you never know what night they're going to jump up and make 5 or 6 threes because they're all capable. Last night it was Armani. The next night it may be Corey. Or you may have a night like Tulsa where they're all doing it on the same night. Now, very rarely does that ever happen. But I think ball movement and spacing was a big part of that. Well, it wouldn't have went that way in the past because we had no depth and we have better players now, too. Don't discount that. You can have great culture and never win a game if you don't have good enough players. I just think culture is how your program behaves. I've had mothers ask me over the years if I could talk their son about their attitude. And I always thought that attitude is a reflection of your thoughts, number one, and you can't change attitude until you change somebody's behavior. And I think culture starts with how you behave. Going to class. Last semester, every one of our kids passed over. We had an average pass of 14.38 hours per kid for the semester. That's culture. Being on time is culture. Coming to practice with the right attitude and doing what's demanded of you. And then I've always thought that player-coach teams are more important than coach-coach teams. From a strategic standpoint, from schemes, timeouts, putting them in this and that. Okay, that's cool, but more importantly, it's the accountability. I thought our kids did a great job of coaching each other in that last 7 minutes. And then comes the buy-in. You got to buy in. Wes Van Beek is in with 2 feet. He's bought in. He doesn't have any discussion points or negotiation or rationalization in his mind. This is who we are, and this is what's expected of me. It's like rebounding. When the ball goes up, you read the fly of the ball, you can tell where it's going to bounce. We work on that stuff. And Wes embodies that. And sometimes you look at your seniors and the guy people think you're going to miss the most is not the ones that you're going to miss the most. It's the one that embodies your culture the most. That's why Wes will be tough to replace. Well, it'd be different. Their team is, I think they have the best fast break in the league. I think and it's more of a delayed break. But Embo, Frazier, Reynolds, and Cornish, those 4 guys are a problem in transition because they all can shoot, pass, drive, and they all can get to the free throw line. Frazier's projected as a late first-round pick, early second-round pick, and a lot of boards. You see him popping up, and you can see why. He's talented dude now. Reynolds, we let him just get loose from us last time, transition and then the half court. So we've got to do a better job of knowing where Reynolds is behind the three-point line, and then we've got to get back and match up with them and not let them score so easily in transition. I didn't think we were very good at that last time. This is just fact. That game should have either been canceled or delayed. I just didn't think it was fair that we had to jump off the bus, change clothes, and eat in 30 seconds, jump up back on the bus and go play a game. It's like we never got grounded, but no pun intended. But that being said, Tulane outplayed us. For what, say how you want, we got beat. Mike may say that's probably their best game of the year. Maybe not. They're a good team. They've had other good games, but getting them back here, going forward, you just learn Chris asked a good question about revenge. For me, it's not. The players, you'd have to ask them, but I know that we have 4 home games left. And that's a lot bigger story in my mind, being ready to play, the problems that Tulane presents, being able to prepare for those problems and get our team ready to play is more important than wasting time talking about revenge to me. What they did to us was exactly the same thing we did at Connecticut last year in Hartford when we beat them. I played Galen, Wes, Armani, and Dot. We just played small. When you play small, the other team has to decide how you want to guard us. Are you going to guard us with, what's the 7-foot kid's name that Connecticut had last year? Started with an A.
Brema?
Yeah, Brema, Ahmed Brema. So they've got Brema, and then they've got another 6'10" kid in there. So one of them's got to go to the 3-point line and guard Dot. Okay, you have to do what we did last night. We can't play Breon and Devin together. And the reason we didn't do that because we don't have to, because I have depth at guard now. So we won a lot of games doing what SMU did last night, playing small. And a lot of times we play Rob, Armani, Wes, and Dot. We play Galen, Wes, Armani, and Dot. But we went that small lineup buoyed us for a long time, and a lot of it was because that was our best lineup. Now against certain teams, that lineup hurt us because of athleticism. We're not athletic enough up front to hurt them with a big lineup. Like last year, Memphis was a difficult matchup for a small lineup because of the Lawson brothers and Rivers. We couldn't keep them off the offensive glass. But, I knew exactly what they were going to do. I knew how to do it. I knew I was going to have to take our bigs out. Now, they had some kids. The one kid, Douglas, really played well, and Landrum. Those were the keys. Once we adjusted our defense and got settled in, I thought we did a good job on McMurray the second half, but they did a good job of going back to Agu. And so we were trying to guard him one-on-one, and then all of a sudden we had to make an adjustment. So we just sent West and sat in his lap, and in the last 7 minutes, they scored a free throw. So I thought our defense was really good. It was a chess match there for a while, and but we made the plays down the stretch, and that's why it was a great win. There's nothing. They have good players. I mean, Melagu, Witt, and McMurray, those 3 guys, pretty good.